Some of us do better than others. My name is Shannon Gibney, and so happy to be here with the amazing work that the Women's Press is doing. And so I really have to hand it to the staff. I know it's so not easy right now in this publishing market. And I have to hand it to all of you for being here too, because nothing can happen without people power. So I'm not going to take up very much time because, I mean, look at these brilliant people here. And Angela, you set like such a great tone for all of us. But I'm a writer. I write books for children. I write books for tweens, teens, grown-ups, everybody. And as well as scholarly work. I'm a writing instructor as well. I teach at Minneapolis College. My students are fantastic. And so, of course, one of my, probably the biggest message that I have to share with you today is also a message that, again, has it been like 5 or 6 years, Mickey, since you've been, 4. Okay, see, that sort of makes it seem, you've had such an impact that it makes it seem longer, which is great. But, you know, I know this is a message that is central to the Women's Press, which is tell your story. Tell your story. Even when, and especially when, it's really inconvenient, it's really complicated, as Audre Lorde would say, at the risk of being bruised and misunderstood, tell your story. Because what can happen when you do that is we think that's really about us unburdening ourselves, and it is, but what will happen is that invariably there will be other people that you encounter directly around you or elsewhere that will be like, oh my God, they did that shit to me too. Or whatever. And then you'll be like, oh my fucking God, we should do something about this, right? And that's so healing. That's like the healing part of trauma, I would say. That unfortunately, as female-bodied people, we have to deal with disproportionately relative to male-bodied people. The last thing that I will say, and then I will get out of here so that you can hear these amazing messages from everyone else. I am a proud Minneapolis Public School parent. I have a 7, Other folks, yes. I'm a product of public schools in Ann Arbor, Michigan in the 80s and 90s, where there was just sort of like widespread understanding that you need to fully fund public schools in order for them to be successful. We are in a different era now, as we know. And the one good thing about this recent strike by MPS Teachers Union was that I think it really pushed a lot of us parents to really get in deep into like, okay, what are the funding issues that are really impacting MPS and districts across the state? And the one that me and some of my friends have really located as sort of the nexus of where we need to get activated and focused is to fully fund special education and K through 12 education throughout the state. And we think this is winnable. It might take 2 to 4 years, you know, because there are our legislators, plenty of them, who are saying that they're not going to fully fund, especially now, which, you know, burns your blood when we have a $9 billion surplus, which is growing every year, and it's projected to be $6 billion next year as well. Okay, so I'm going on, so I'm going to wrap it up and say, my friend Ryan Romine and I, who has 2 students in Seward Montessori, he and I are forming, along with, like, there's other parent groups too. It's kind of beautiful to see. There's something in the zeitgeist. People are finally starting to get the big it. But we're starting to try and organize people around this very specific issue of fully funding special education in Minnesota. I believe MPS lost last year, like, estimates are between $50 to $70 million. They call it cross subsidy. It's an unfunded mandate by the state. This is a fixable problem. So I'm going to pass around a sheet, and I also have some other stuff, in the other room there, that the Minneapolis Public Schools lobbyist. It's an action alert for folks specifically in certain Senate districts to contact their legislators now, okay, because the Education Finance Committee is meeting now to deal with this stuff. Okay, peace out. Thank you.